Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy Friday, my hunters. How y'all doing, man? LIB, how you doing?
What's going on?
My birthday was yesterday, day older.
That's right.
Now I'm not on top of the mountain. I'm looking over that thing. Trapper's a little bit older than me. So, I mean.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, you're like, what, couple 2 years ahead of me?
Behind you, Jack. Behind you.
Yeah. Yep. Scammer said, no, he's not. Nancy, hello. Yeah, man. You ready to come out, LIB? I'm ready to pick you up and show you some spots, LIB.
Yeah. Well, you threw me off with the whole "are you ready to come out" thing. I was like, what kind of setup is this? Yeah, no, I'm ready to come out there. Yeah.
Yeah, Candy, hello. Nancy, hello. Thank you for the birthdays. Thank you. Gary, good evening. Oh, man, you almost had me on that one. I was sitting there going, what's he thinking now? Georgianne, hello. Delroy, hello. So I got a question for you, LIB, while you're here.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see a big orb like that green one that I filmed?
Yeah. When Elena was here, we were up in the Catskills, and it's a lot of weird stuff going on, but nothing like more like weird energy, if anything. Like we were both really drained. Like it wasn't necessarily anything good, but for whatever reason, this one night the back was like all woods, like deep woods, and I was like, let me go in the front, and I'm like standing on the balcony and on the porch, and I'm looking up, and it's big sky, and I'm like, let me get the psionics. It's clear. So I'm like, let me get the night vision psionics, and I'm like, just getting ready to turn it on, and all of a sudden, where the mountain directly across from us, where the sky meets the tree line, where like the ground, something comes down and powers up and powers back down, and it was massive. It was the biggest orb. I have to call it an orb because it was just light. If it was a craft or whatever, I didn't make out any detail. She didn't make out any detail. All I saw was just straight light. So I have to categorize it as an orb, I guess. But it was massive. Yeah, it was massive. Green ones are really I filmed a big green one, like a basketball sized green one. Like yeah. I'm talking, this is probably going back 4 years. I'd have to pull up the footage, like I'd have to go back and find it for you so you could match it up to see if it's what you're talking about. But it was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. Perfect, perfectly. It was almost opaque. So, like, it was green, but it was almost like you could see through it, but you couldn't see through it,
Yeah. Yeah, I probably thought the same thing, like I could see through it, but I watched it it came up, started off small and was all, like, moving, and then shot off, and then there was, like, some white ones took off after it. And, yeah. I mean, it filmed it.
I always have this, like... people get mad at me for it all the time, but I kind of have this, like, get it and go type mentality. Like, when I'm filming something, if I'm on something, I'll be like, I kind of get the shot, and I'll be like, okay, thank you, and then, like, let it go about its business, whatever it may be, and I'll move on. And a lot of people disagree with me on that one. They're like, stay on it. Why wouldn't you keep filming it? Why wouldn't you go towards it? Why wouldn't you do this? Why wouldn't you do that? Well, when you're in that situation, you can do whatever the hell you want. But, this is just how I get down. I don't know what,
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, I was talking to my mom today, and she was all like, we were talking about it, and she said that she's seen some before, but never like that. And she was like, "You guys filmed some strange things out there," and I'm like, "Yeah,
You gotta
we
be in
do."
it to. You gotta be in it to win it, man. And yeah, you guys are out there.
Yeah, and I would like you said, I wasn't chasing after it. I mean, I walked down beside it, and got back to MT. Like, holy God!
Well, a buddy of mine filmed the one come down and pick up a deer, and it that deer. I believe you don't really see it carry the deer off. If I've This is just off recollection. I don't think you see the deer get carried off, but it goes down into the deer, and then the deer starts to lift, and then it's on game camera, and then it's just gone. So I'm pretty sure like you don't see the deer leave. So the assumption is that it picked up the deer and took it off. But I don't know. It's game cams are kind of like sketchy, right? Because you're just trusting equipment. Like you're not there. You're not there to back it up and to say exactly what happened. Like there's no firsthand account. It's just
Right?
you have to trust that the equipment's working the right way.
Yeah, I've seen some strange stuff on ours, man. But I'd never post them because sometimes I do if it's a different animal that they say is not in Ohio or something like that. I'll post it, but that's what I get. Sometimes I'm like, it don't make no sense. There's no way to explain it, so I'm not going to post it. Hello to everyone that came in. Cranky Pants, Heather, Lori, how y'all doing? Sherry, Delroy, Georgine, Carrie, how y'all doing on this Friday? So we got some people that are going to pop in and out throughout the show. Wanted to stop in and say hello.
Mm-hmm.
Trapper, seen anything like that green orb before while you were out hunting or anything?
I don't see the orbs. You've always seen the orbs for me.
Yeah, that was on film. It was on film. No way to deny it.
Every time we've been out and you said there's an orb, I've never seen it. Yeah, I mean,
I
see it.
I was in the same position, Trapper. I used to say the same shit. I would sit there and be like, I don't see what these people see, or like I don't understand it necessarily, and then like all of a sudden the things would start happening to me. You know what I mean? And I think it's cyclic in a sense. Like I call it like Sasquatch school, right? Like you got to go through different like grade levels and shit, and like everyone's like progressing at a different rate, right? And like I'm in a boring place right now. Like right now I'm in a boring place. Like there's not much happening around me that I can share. Let's put it that way. Like there was a lot that used to happen on camera for me. Like I'm sure it still could if I pushed for it, but I'm at the point where like I'm putting the camera down more and more and more because how do I explain it? I don't know. I'm like it's just more personal. Like it's more personal.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally understand that. I went to claim 3 all week, and I'll tell you what, man. I think we came up. I mean, the homeowner thanks me for what we did out there. You all get to see it soon enough. But all week long, I was at claim 3, and a lot of it I was by myself, not filming, and a lot of stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it was personal, I guess you could say. Like you said, a lot of personal things. The interaction was not what I thought it would be. Like it'd give me a pre-knock, and then I'd look, and then some strange, it'd be like some talking, or I'd turn my back and some weird just gibberish. This is gonna sound funny. I lost was kind of like a little stand. I put it down. Where'd you put a camera on? Lost it, set it down in the forest, and I was like, man, I thought I knew where it was, and then you don't know where it is. And there was a knock, And I was like, that was weird. And then something fell from the tree, and the freaking tripod was right where it fell.
Well, I told you about that time where I have this thing where it's right here actually. So this thing right here is no good, right? With this goes to $100 pair of headphones for my video games, and if you don't place this in the Xbox, the headphones don't work. I left this in the mountains at this remote motel, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, like I can't believe I did that. Like I can see where I left it. Like when I was packing, I go, I go on Amazon, see if I could buy just that. And they're like, you can. I go to Best Buy, I go here, I go there. Everyone's like, no, 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 no. They all match up with the individual things. Like you have to buy the whole thing over again. And I'm like, I call the hotel. They're like, sure, we'll hold it for you if you want to come get it. So I'm like, even if I go get it between tolls and gas, like I'm still gonna come out at $100 around at least, to go get it. So I'm like, well, I'll just buy it all over again. I'm like, forget it. So I'm digging through all my stuff one more time because I'm like dumping my bag upside down, and I'm like, all right. And I literally said to myself, all right, I've done everything I could humanly possibly do. I give up, like whatever. It is what it is. And all of a sudden, if I didn't see it pass in front of my eyes, I would have thought it fell out of my bag somewhere. But I saw it, and I'm standing in my house, and I saw it pass in front of my eyes and drop and hit me on my toes. So it literally fell out of thin air in my house like that. So, take it or leave it. I mean, but something I left 250 miles away was, dropped right in front, dropped in my lap.
Oh,
so, it was a real eye opener for me. And first thing I did was rang Mike Patterson because he has Marbles material, Sasquatch Ontario. I don't know if you guys follow him, but he has Marbles materialize all the time out of thin air. So I called him right away, and like he was like, more or less like, no big thing, right? Like no, it's like, water off a duck's back. Like it was no big deal to him, but he was just more or less like, oh yeah, they could do that, and then this and that, and da 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 da. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right. And I wasn't gonna talk about it because I felt nuts. Like I felt like if I tell people this shit, I'll just sound like a Looney Tune. But I was like, at the same time, if I don't, then I'm not doing I'm not doing anyone any favor by keeping it to myself. But but there are some things like that happen where when they happen off camera, I choose to just leave them like for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it was very interesting on that. I was like, well, thank you, man. I was like,
right. Yeah.
Mr. Wonderful ORD.
What is up? I made it. You made it.
Hello. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it.
For sure.
Lori says, do you think the orbs happened before the presence of Sasquatch or maybe other entities? I couldn't tell you that. I don't think I got enough data on it, but I can tell you when there's orbs, it's always followed up with activity, Sasquatch activity. But I don't know if those two go hand in hand.
I think they do, but I think orbs go hand in hand with a lot of things. You know what I mean? It's not just them. You know what I mean? It's not just Sasquatch related.
That's for sure. 100%.
Yep. I know when, I believe they were fired up. Mike was out there doing his thing, and then I switched off because he was getting a lot of activity around him while he was getting activity in front of him. So I switched my game up. I was like, you know what? I'm right here. I might as well start camera 2 for him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was getting things thrown at him, hearing things behind him, and he didn't have none of his devices, that he could put there. So I became camera 2. And
I'm not sure what happened there.
It was pretty amazing. But yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I've always seen littler ones, but nothing like that at all. So it was a first for me, first for everybody, I guess. Some of the watchers.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's great. Like a lot of your subscribers are like, newer people who are like interested in the subject, and like, and you guys are going through the motions like slowly and like very methodically, and it's really good. It's fun. It's fun for me to watch. You know what I mean? Like as a seasoned like old man in the game, like you know what I mean? Like it's nice for me to watch. Like I enjoy it. I really do.
Yeah, and we definitely love your input.
Old man, what are you talking about?
Not old. I mean, like seasoned
You're old,
veteran. Like I had my
You don't have to
time.
be our sons. We're talking about.
I'm the oldest one in here. Let's not fool each other.
I'm glad you're owning that.
Yeah. I'm feeling it too, man. I started doing physical therapy and working out again, trying to fight the MS, man. And it's like, oh boy.
God bless you, man. Thank you all for the donations and support. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I am a little late to everything, but
You're Mr. Wonderful, though, man.
I am Mr. Wonderful.
Sue, hello.
So what
Nancy,
are we talking about as of right now?
The green orb that I filmed. It was about, judging from the distance, it got to be probably basketball size, maybe a little bit bigger, not much bigger.
Okay, that's awesome. Was that at Claim 3?
No, that was during Mike's investigation. There was so much going on around him that I just started, I was like, you know what, I'll just become camera 2 for him and video the stuff. But that, that weird scream that started coming towards him that I filmed, it's only about a 12-minute video. I didn't want to make it, too much longer, but there was a lot of activity. That screams, I dreamed about that scream for like 3 nights.
Wow.
Kind of woke up every time that, after the scream was over, I kind of like popped up like, what the hell? And I just think, sometimes I think the entities or whatever's out there messes with you.
Oh yeah, it's like a sniper rifle the way they use their vocals. Like these things can aim it right at you, and to the point where it doesn't even make sound to anybody else. You know what I mean? Like there could be like hikers a mile, half a mile away or something, right? They won't hear a thing. Like they won't hear a thing. Like it's hard to explain, but yeah. Blood curdling screamers.
Hard to
explain.
explain.
12 minutes of terror. That's what I said. I wanted to call it. Yeah. And Claim 3, wait until y'all see that. I think, man, sometimes I go, did that bring something? Did something attach itself to me for a minute to drain energy?
Was Claim 3 Squid Games? Was that the red thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The jellyfish, sorry, not Squid Game.
Jelly Man, yeah. We kind of got a name, I think. We had someone come out and give me their input, and they gave me a name, what they felt. And it I didn't know any of the information. I didn't say nothing to this person. It was a medium.
Yeah.
Kind of put a name to the place and what they kind of felt, and it was going to be neat to see. And not a medium like you think. I thought it was going to be like, gothy. No, I mean, professional. Everything was professional dressed, and pretty good. But just to help the guy out, I mean, I think he was spot on what he was telling me. They were spot on what they were telling me, and it's like, wow. So anything big coming up?
No, not really. You know, I don't know if anyone's in New York. The Whitehall Festival is the end of this month, which is always a good time. I'm probably not going to make it again because it's just the end of the month is just a Mr. Mafunzalo time of the month. So I probably won't make it there, but yeah, more or less, I'm just trying to get out to you guys at some point soon.
Yeah. Mary, you can stay here or, you know.
Yeah. I'll probably, you know what? We'll work it out, and I'll just find a time where I have like a few days off, and I'll just hoof it out there, and whatever happens, happens. You know, if we only get out one night or whatever, it is what it is. You know, even if we just sit around and shoot the shit for a while and bounce ideas. There's a lot of things I want to say to you guys that I will, and show you guys that I don't put out. Like I don't put in the public.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the way it's come to that point where I have to do it that way. I know people will say like, oh no, like tell everybody, but it's not. I have children, like I can't have stuff come to my house. I can't have things come to my door. So.
Right.
I know what you're saying, man. I think everybody knows what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trapper, things are starting to lighten up for you. You'll be out more.
Yeah, I should be getting out a little bit more. Things are starting to lighten up. I mean, hunting season is right around the corner, though. I sometimes get busy during hunting season.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of tracking for hunters and stuff. So, but the business is starting to slow down a little bit. So, yeah, I should be getting out a little bit more.
Awesome. Mr.
Mike,
Wonderful.
Yeah, Mike, you're more than welcome to stay here too. I mean, I got a big house. I got more than enough room, now that my kids
I appreciate it.
Oh, so
doors are open for all you guys, man.
Yep. Yeah. Anybody wants to come down?
Spend $1.
Yeah, it makes it easier when you don't have to worry about finding a place to stay, because that's where all the money gets drained is
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
But anyway, we'll talk more soon. Speaking of the kiddos, I got to put this one to bed, and I did want to stay and hang out longer, but daddy duty calls. So
you're a good father, man. Keep it up.
I appreciate it, guys. Well, keep trucking along, guys. I'll catch you soon. All right.
Absolutely, brother.
Lord of Ord, it was good to see you, Mr. Wonderful. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Trapper,
bro.
keep trapping.
See you later, buddy.
Later, guys.
Speaking about that, Mr. Wonderful, ROD, same invite, man. You need to get down here.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna have to talk to you about that because the boys want to come down and come join a hunt. The boys are ready whenever you guys are.
Got to wear the big boy pants, man. We don't run.
I wear those every day. But I did get challenged for Call of Duty tomorrow for $400.
Oh,
my boss man.
Oh, nice.
He thinks he's gonna beat me.
$400. That's not a bad gig.
$400, man. You better win.
Exactly.
PC, how you doing?
But yeah, other than that, I don't really got anything big going on. That's about it.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, gotta end up talking to you about when all the boys are gonna come up there to do a hunt with you guys.
Whenever you want.
It's all just trying to get out of their scaredy trousers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't run. They can't either. There's a lot of people we took out that won't go out no more. And it's not because of us. They're like, we're never going back in the woods.
So you guys have been still pursuing this stuff on a consistent basis, on a weekly basis. Now that it's September and the temperature is a little more tolerable, it's not so humid. Have you noticed any difference in experiences? So, okay, so the question I have to you guys is, okay, there was August, an extremely humid month. The whole summer was humid. But this month has been quite pleasant. So have you noticed any difference besides personal comfort? Have you noticed any difference in activity? And what is the difference?
Yes. I went to three out of the 5 spots that I've stopped at. There was no activity. They're gone. Now, we know, me and Trapper know, that they leave some areas during hunting season. And hunting season's starting. They're just like deer. I repeat that. They're just like deer. Deer know to get out of some of these areas. And so do these creatures. I mean, it was dead. Like the swamp. Dead. I mean, so we know they go higher. We know that. Me and Trappers chased them higher in elevation. But it seems like this time of year, last month it seemed like there was a lot of activity in these spots. Now, I think that was just rushing for the food source. This month, I think they clear out. Coming into hunting season, they'll clear out, go higher in some of these areas, not all of them, but the hunting zones.
Yeah, so, I mean, my theory is, we live around a lot of long distance hiking trails. Like we live by the Buckeye Trail. The Buckeye Trail runs into the North Country Trail. The North Country Trail goes from the Dakotas all the way to New York. The Buckeye Trail follows. It's 1,400 miles around Ohio. Then you get on the North Country Trail. The North Country Trail goes to the Long Trail, which is in New York. And then the Long Trail runs into the Appalachian Trail. My theory is some of these things will get on these long distance trails, including power lines, stuff like that, and they'll follow these long distance trails just like hikers do to higher elevation. That's my theory when it gets to start getting closer to winter. Get away a lot away from hunting, because hunting season is 3 weeks away from here. So that's my theory, that they go higher and they just start following these trails.
So do you guys think that they follow the deer?
Mm-hmm. I believe they followed it. They followed the deer.
My first encounter with that Crow Indian medicine man in that ravine, there was consistent sighting of deer in that area. That exact location, consistent for me, sightings of deer. And I just wonder if there is a correlation.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe those are herds.
Yeah. It was Lori says, growing up, I lived in foothills of Sierra and spent summers at Mount Hood, Oregon, and then now live in Washington State. You would think I would have an experience at some time. If you're just going out to the forest and you're just hiking, a lot of people don't, or they might have an experience and not recognize it.
That's a darn good question. Why do some of us actually have encounters and experiences and sightings, and other people don't ever have anything? And they'll spend a lifetime researching this stuff and never have anything. Why is that?
I've always said this. I'll do. My channel is separated between hiking and Bigfooting, and I tell my subscribers, please watch my hiking videos as well, because I have another theory as these most of the reports come from people out there hunting, fishing, hiking, camping, having fun in the woods. And I think a lot of these people do not realize what is going on those trails when they hear the signs until they see something right in front of them. Like, oh my gosh, it's there. Just like I did a hiking video last Sunday. I was on the Buckeye Trail doing a hiking video, and I heard tree knocks going off like crazy. And we were in a known area. I was in a known area where Jack and I started this whole thing. And I know they were there.
So I have a theory about that. That is that once they know that you know the game is on, and if people don't know or don't believe, are not interested, they seem to have there seems to be a correlation. I can't say for certain. There seems to be a correlation that if people are not tuned in, they'll miss the signs, if you will.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's dead on.
Right.
Yeah, that's dead on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just think of the people that go looking for paranormal. They find paranormal activity, and then it kind of they're stuck with it. And then say I go to an old abandoned house and I'm just walking through grabbing garbage, cleaning up the place, and I'm like, well, this place wasn't haunted, but say Trapper goes in and does his ghost hunt, he's seeing all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, well, I was in there and didn't get nothing. I think it's the same thing. You go looking, you find
so what I noticed is like there's different kind of experiences or encounters. You have your crew here, and Trapper seems to have different kinds of experiences than you do, and that even Mike seems like he has different experiences than Jack, and etc. So so have you guys ever thought about that? Why is it that you guys could be in the same general area, I mean, within yards of each other, and three of you could have some kind of different experience going on? What's going on there?
I think it's at a level, what level you are. It's funny that you mentioned that, because when I caught that white bing sitting down, whatever it was, just before that, they started having camera problems, both of them. One had to change out his batteries, MT had to fix his lights and do something else because something happened. And then just feet away, I catch this thing. I didn't have no camera problems. So I don't know if it's meant for each of us, like Trapper had the thing that he seen in his bush.
We've seen that we all have our uniquely designed experience, something external outside of ourselves. We have no influence in that, except we're talking about Trapper here, so maybe they're like, maybe that dude's gonna put something in us or trap us. He might be a potential threat to them. You know what I mean? Just with the fact that his skill level. I mean, is there a possibility of that? I bring that up not flippantly because I noticed that a lot of guys who are experienced hunters and woodsmen, they might have a couple encounters, but it seems like just a couple encounters. It's not like something that's maybe chronic, if that makes sense, or consistent. Maybe is a better way of saying it. Is that the case? I wonder why that is. Just a question. I don't know what the answer is, but why is it a guy like Trapper has a couple experiences, but you have far more experiences? And of course, you're out in the field more, but
right.
So, but I don't think it's so much a numbers game as most people think it is. So.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a numbers game either. I think it's on your experience, how you act. I mean, like Trapper's had activity out there when I didn't, just like he's seen that thing. He looks back at me. He's like, "What beautiful eyes. I see it." And I'm
right. Talking to us. Let's pick Trapper's brain here a little bit since I don't get a chance. Oh, boy. So have you had more experiences on the solo on your own or with the crew?
With the crew.
It's okay. So what do you think that is? Because you're more focused on that particular thing, or is it?
Yeah.
You're focused on having the experience.
Yeah, I'm more focused because I'm more focused doing just a Bigfoot hunt. When I'm on my own, I'm pretty much doing a hiking. I'll go out backpacking by myself or hiking by myself. And like I tell a lot of my subscribers, I want you guys to find what's around me in the woods, because I'm just hiking. I'm paying attention to the trail markers and everything, so I don't get lost. So a lot of my stuff is I'm hiking, because I want my subscribers to find out what's following me and what's around me. Because I mean, I do have subscribers that will they will timestamp it and say, yes, that they're following you. They're just beside you. And every now and then I will stop and I'll show like tree breaks or a tree bend. So I don't get completely out of it. I'm right on that thin line. So everybody so you can see it could be around me, but then you hear those tree knocks. I mean, they were so like close to me and they were so loud. I mean, those
When you
tree
say
breaks.
close, when you say close, what are you saying? How many yards?
I'm saying 100, 200 yards from me. They were really close. I was in a pine forest, and they were really close. They were closer down by the lake. They were down.
Field. Okay.
Yeah, about a football field. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that interesting? And you heard that, but you saw nothing that made the sound. And Jack knows where I'm going with this. But I don't know if I should. But because our. So how about you? Wonderful. Is your experience kind of similar to what these guys talk about? Do you have? Do you have more experiences when you're with a group of people or by yourself, solo?
So I hadn't gone on any like big hunts like with Jack or anything. I'm actually starting to get into this right now, and I sent Jack a couple of photos of what I've caught. I don't know if you can pull them up while they're in here, but I caught two figures. You can easily make them out. Two figures walking in the woods. It was winter time. But you can clearly see like a woman wearing a dress. And
I want to see this. Wait a minute. So, listen. You can present on your end too, right? If you're using a camera, if you're using a desktop computer, all you do is go to present. You see little boxes. Present.
It's on my phone. That's the thing.
Oh, well, that sucks. How about you, Jack? Do you have it? Let's see these images. Come on. Oh, come on, guys.
I'll send them to you.
Yeah. But then I also caught
send them to me and I'll present them. How's that? I'd love to see.
It was quite interesting.
It's interesting. You said the woman in dress because I filmed. This is a bizarre thing. I filmed looked like a woman, the dress part for sure, and the shape of a woman, but it was up in a tree, as usual because I focus up in the trees. Now,
then,
of course,
we filmed a woman too.
This obviously is not Bigfoot, but it's on the side of the poltergeist spirit side of the trees in the forest. So, it should have been where it was at. Let's put it that way, because there was absolutely no reason for anybody. I don't know how anybody could even possibly have hung a dress up there. You know what I mean? But it's interesting. So, a woman in a dress.
You can clearly see it's just like the bottom half of a dress, and then a man, two legs walking like a man. They're just pictures, but you can clearly see it.
Oh, yeah, you filmed just the two-leg apparition. That's awesome.
Yep, they're both in the same picture, like following right behind each other.
Did you notice in the woman? Was it a white dress? Like, because a lot of times people.
It was all black. It was like shadows.
Okay, so the shadows, because there's you guys probably heard of the lady in white. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yeah, I think that we filmed. I think we have evidence on the Facebook page of one that we caught.
Lady in white with extremely big feet.
I don't know about the feet part.
Well, I'm just saying that seems to be a very common theme in all that. You know what I mean? That people. Yeah. They say she's wearing large shoes. That's what it appeared to be like, right? Or large feet.
Yeah, I don't think that we caught the feet, but
no, it wasn't that low.
Yeah.
But I also captured a picture that seems like I think we came to the conclusion it was a spirit of a fox. I think is what we came to conclusion of.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
Right.
Yep. So I live in Michigan, so we have quite a bit of haunted locations. One of the biggest ones is called Nunica Cemetery. We have one called Mouse Cemetery, which is where I got that fox picture. And then the other one was in a national forest that's over in my area that with the
And
lady.
where's your area again? Wonderful. Where's that at? What's your area? Sorry about this.
Over in like the Grand Rapids area.
Michigan?
Yep.
Oh, you're over there. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So I'm between you guys. I'm in Northwest Ohio, right? A place called Sylvania, right in the border.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would drive by me if you're heading their way. So
Yeah.
you'd probably take 23 or 75. That's interesting. So Grand Rapids in that area of Michigan too seems to have a lot of activity as well. Have you noticed that, Jack?
I'm getting a lot of reports from actually Michigan.
Yep.
Southwest.
If you go farther up north, there's a lot more up north. We do have a very haunted asylum called Eloise Asylum up north. People go there. You get photos. You can get videos. You can get photos. You get sounds. It's a tour. You can go in there and get a tour, or you can sign up and pay a couple. It's like $1,300, I think, for a whole private investigator to be there for. I think it's all night. I think, and you basically you get to use every single floor that they have, and I think it's a 5-story building.
That's not cheap. They better guarantee something for $1,300, man.
Yeah, I mean, this place is just. I mean, this place is the real deal. I mean, it was on. I believe it was on one of those. What was it? Scariest Places on Earth show.
Okay.
You can look it up on YouTube. I mean, people have investigated it before. It's just a really cool place to go to. I have not been there yet, but I've been trying to go there. I want to get some people to go with me. So I'm trying to plan on going to see it.
Cemeteries, trees, and forests seem to be something's going on. But then, Jack, you brought up something to me, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it. And this is the canals that run through Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And then water seems to be a big part of this whole scenario. And then, of course, Michigan is just littered with small lakes and surrounded by water, all three of its sides. So what do you guys think about that? What possible correlations or connections are there with water?
I just think the flowing of it, just the flowing of the water is just able to get energy out from it. So
yeah,
it makes it
and
more-
Ohio's weird because we have water that flows north and south.
Yeah, we do. The divide is in
Yep.
Ohio.
Yep. And if you look on one side, all of our activity seems to be on one side of that river, the rivers. That's the right side.
So where I'm at is Maumee River, so it's flowing northeast.
Mm-hmm.
To go into the lake area, then it heads your guys' way.
Yep.
And then you have the Ohio River. And then at one time there was a canal that's connected all this stuff. And you
Absolutely.
showed me a map
Yeah.
of a square, like basically, or which is interesting. Ohio, the big O, and we have this big O, like circuit one time of water.
Yeah. And they tried to break it up, but that flows underneath us. I mean,
Right.
yeah. I mean,
So
just
then-
in the lake, there was four or five different river systems that met into one area and then flowed all in different directions.
So where you guys
Yeah.
at in East Ohio, what's the water like there? What's the water table? What's what kind of activities do you guys have around water? Because when I think of there's a couple of good lakes, I guess, and Eastern Ohio, but I really don't think of Eastern Ohio as like Of course, I live in the a walleye capital of the world, so right next to it. So I don't know. It's kind of I haven't really thought much about it except for crappie fishing and then the river and maybe catfishing. I haven't thought much about eastern Ohio. So have you thought much about that? I mean, is there a lot of lakes where you guys are going? I know you guys go, there's some ponds and all that, but and river
We have a lot of
systems.
we have a lot of lakes around here, smaller lakes. We do a lot of bass fishing out of them, stuff like that. There's some other fish in some of these lakes. I mean, I don't know, Jack. I mean, where we used to go, I mean, there's bass and walleye. I think in perch. I think didn't they stock that stuff in there? But
Oh, yeah.
we got a lot of smaller lakes around here. That, I mean, they're big enough to put boats and stuff in, but they're
Big
nothing
catfish.
like. Yeah, they're.
Are they reservoirs? Are they reservoirs or natural?
They're,
Okay.
Yeah.
they're
The
I
one
wonder-
lake was river. The one lake, what was that? What's the lake over by me called? Trapper. West Branch.
West,
West
well, you got
Branch
West
Lake.
Branch, but the lake is something different. But yes, West Branch.
Yeah.
Right.
There was 4 rivers that ran into that before they made
Right.
it into a lake.
And you
So-
can see that when you're out there hiking, or when you're out there, when we're out there bigfooting or hiking or something, you can actually see the landscape where the rivers came in at one time.
Yeah.
So from my experience, for whatever it's worth, every sighting and encounter that I've had or decent footage has been probably within 100 yards of a stream or a lake or a pond. How's that been for you guys? How close have water bodies been for you guys? All 3 of you, because I know that because the Grand Rapids has a river running through it too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're pretty close to.
Most of my searches, I go more up north. I don't stay in the Grand Rapids area because the Nunica Cemetery is more up north, and then the other one, the Mouse Cemetery one, is up north also. That's where I got that fox spirit picture. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it uploaded to my computer later. Try doing it tomorrow and try to see if I can send one. But I don't do much in Grand Rapids. It's all up north. But the cemetery I've been to where I got that fox picture, you can walk a little bit towards the back, and there's a pond back there also. So it's surrounded by water, but there's also an Indian burial ground over in that area also. So I'm sure that helps stir up activity also, even just going by it, even when it's just a normal cemetery over there also.
Which tribe? Ojibwe
I don't-
or
I
Blackfoot?
don't know what tribe it was.
Okay.
I'll have to look more into it. There is a sign there that says what tribe it was. I just don't remember what the name of that tribe was.
Because I wondered there too, because a lot of tribes they have an association with certain spirits. If that makes sense. In other words, from their traditions, certain types of spirits seem to be connected to them for whatever reason. So, is it just? I mean, it could be simply just folklore and their imagination, but I don't think so. From this point, I think that they probably have some kind of experiences of certain things that they call spirits.
I haven't, Heather.
So like Trapper, here's a dude who's like really talented at trapping things and trail, following trails and the footprints. I'm just like, Trapper, what creature can make footprints and disappear? And you, as a trapper, can't freaking find it. I mean, what creature could it possibly be?
That's what brought me into this whole thing. I mean, Jack called, I went out and met Jack one day and he goes, all right, track, he would start tracking. So he put me on something. It was in a riverbed, and I came across tracks that I could not explain. And that's what got me so curious about what I'm finding these tracks that it did not make sense to me at all.
Right.
You know, I've never, of
So
all
you're
my
talking
years,
about shape,
I-
size, or what character? I mean, what? I mean, how does this something that to just make a few footprints and this disappear?
I can't explain it. I really can't. I mean, I've seen tracks all over the United States, been all over tracking all over the United States, from humans to all kinds of animals. And when you follow tracks like this, you just can't figure it out. It's just crazy. That's what got me into this, and I had to figure out what I was seeing. I mean, Jack was. It was like I was like a kid in a candy store when I saw that the very first time ever. I could not stop. It was like addicting. I couldn't stop. I had to keep following it.
Yeah,
And
I
then
actually
really-
had to stop him from following it. I'm like, we got to get out of here.
So really, so how far of a trail was it? I remember this. How far was this again?
It
How
was
up-
far. We went far.
It was far. I don't remember. I was in the track I mean, because when I'm tracking, I'm not just following foot tracks. I'm following everything around me. I could be tracking something, and it could be as little as a branch broken in the woods that's not natural, or it could be even the leaves are turned over a certain way that's not natural. I'm tracking that as well. But when I'm seeing foot tracks in a riverbed, in the sand in the riverbed, it was unbelievable. I couldn't stop. And
And the odds of somebody faking that are, a human being doing it. What do you think, based on your?
no, not that far back, not that far out in the woods. We were a long ways out, and I remember Jack took me way out there, and we just kept walking and walking. And I just met this guy, and he's taking me so far out in the woods. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen.
We were like 4 hours into it. And then I was like, here they are, track these.
I just met the guy, and he's taking me in the woods. And Wait a minute.
Like, oh, here they are, track these.
This is the part of the woods I didn't know about. What's going on here?
I actually had the similar experience with that, and it kind of makes sense with that fox spirit that I got. I went to the cemetery, and I could see footprints, but they looked like fox prints, but then like I followed them, and then they completely like disappeared, completely gone. And I mean, they looked fresh and everything, and there was no one else there but me. But I followed them. I was looking at them. I was like, okay, so there's tracks here. Let's just keep following them, see what's happening here. And then all of a sudden, there's like a giant section that is just completely no tracks at all. Probably again, you start seeing them again, another 20 feet. So like, I'm following these tracks, and I'm like, how are these tracks here? And then the rest of this spot is just completely blank. And it just goes back to a trail right there.
Yeah, earlier this spring, me and Mike were out, and I mean, water's probably still around 35 degrees, and we find footprints walking through the water, walking through the river, up on the riverbank, making impressions. And the footprints are probably, I would think, maybe 7 inches, 7, 8. So they weren't that big, but they're all over that river, and there's no way, man. We have jackets on, we have boots on. There's no way you're getting your feet wet walking on those kind of rocks with that cold water. There's just no way.
Yeah.
And I mean, we filmed it, we put it on video, and it was mind blowing. Like how?
Right.
Or what?
Yeah, how or what? Especially that size.
Right.
You
Because
know, not that big.
could it be an Indian spirit or someone else, a human spirit or something of that nature? I mean, I know it sounds kind of supernatural and out there, but after a while, gentlemen, you have to come to the conclusion that we're dealing with something that is not strictly blood, flesh and blood, right? I mean, that's what I'm going to hear from Trapper. A flesh and blood dude. Tell us, are we dealing strictly with a flesh and blood thing here at this point, from your experience?
You know, I'm on the fence about it. I own a business. You know, I'm a trapper. I own a business trapping, and I track things. So, in my head, and me being in the woods since I was knee high, just learning to walk. I want to believe that they're flesh and blood. That's what I want to believe. But is it really? I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence because I'm following Jack a lot more, and he's showing me like these.
That's pretty dangerous. That's dangerous following Jack, man.
Yeah.
No, it is sometimes, man. I'm telling you. Sometimes I think to myself, what am I doing?
Absolutely.
Especially when you're doing a hunt and you're getting sick out there, like me and Mike. I mean, it makes you think, going, what are we doing? You know?
Yeah. I do have a question. So, because that first picture, that fox spirit, my first instant, all of us thought that I caught a skinwalker on camera. Now we think, we decided that it's a fox spirit. So, what are signs of like a skinwalker being by you? Is there really a sign for it, or is there like anything that can make you feel like that there is a skinwalker by you?
I don't know, because I don't have enough experience with the skinwalker to tell you.
That's right.
Because I thought the main thing what skinwalkers do is that they morph into another animal or a person or something. So when we got that picture, it was all like, we were thinking, it was like a stretched out head of a fox, and the body just looked weird when we first saw it. So we were thinking, is it a skinwalker that's morphing, or is it? But we came to the point that it's a fox spirit. But it just gave me that what if feeling that I did get like a skinwalker on camera that was morphing.
That one I couldn't tell you, brother. I have no idea. Do I want to see a skinwalker? I think that white thing or something. I can't tell you what a skinwalker looks like, let alone.
Exactly. That's what all of us thought when I first saw the picture, and I was like, did I really just get a skinwalker at this cemetery?
But Lori asked literally why one or two tracks and gone. We've got more than one or two tracks.
Yep.
I followed all the way through the snow, all the way to a little sapling tree, going, there's no way. And it disappeared right to that tree.
That's how ours works.
Yeah, we've covered in sand, me and Trapper. We followed those all the way down the beach. I mean,
yep.
In the winter, I followed them in the snow. I mean, we get our fair share of, a couple tracks. But I mean, we've filmed some. We filmed some weird tracks, that's for sure. Especially in the snow, man. I can't wait, because there's no denying it. When you see something prints in the snow and you're following it for over a mile, and you're going, okay, this just cannot happen. Not with snow and bare feet, walking to a tree and then disappearing. I mean, It just ain't happening. Especially in some dense places we get into where there's prickers underneath there. What's underneath that snow because you walked it in the summer.
Yeah. I just want to make a quick apology. My dogs went nuts. I have a Great Dane and a German Shepherd here, and someone came in the door and they just went nuts. So I do apologize to everybody about that.
Yeah.
No, we enjoy it. I enjoy the sound of dogs, man.
Do you?
Right. I do, man. But dogs never bother me.
Yeah. But for tracks, I mean, I get it. I don't You know,
Cats now. Cats bother me.
Yeah, cats bother me also.
I'm not a cat man. I don't. Not that I'm allergic to them. I just don't want to. Dogs are cool. You know what I mean? Cats are okay too. You know, it's funny. Have you seen all the memes out there? Just a side note from the debate. You know what I mean?
You ain't even getting into
What Donald Trump said.
about the Springfield.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the
Staying
pets.
away from that.
I think it's funny. People are having fun with it. Except
For the footprints, man, we filmed our fair share of the one or two prints for sure, but we've also filmed some good.
So, do you guys feel that maybe sometimes it's just some kind of, are they baiting you? Are they trying to tempt you? Are they trying to interact? Are they trying to communicate with you with these footprints? I mean, do you think is there a possibility, or do you have a sense or a hunch that maybe something's trying to mess with you guys or communicate with you guys or want you to
we find the footprints is we're just finding the footprints. You know, I don't think it's there to mess with us, but when we're out there searching for them, oh man, I think it's game on, and they're playing games, and especially the younger ones. Yeah,
young ones they'll mess with you. They'll get you lost on purpose or try to. I can't tell you how many times we've gotten lost in the woods and because they're messing with us. You know, they'll be throwing rocks or they'll throw things over your head. And it's just like a cat and mouse game, you know, we're the mice or we're the cat chasing the mice, you know. I mean, it's
either or, right? Who knows? Because the thing is, nothing's happened to us, right? Except getting scared. Nothing physically. Except for me, I've had some weird health effects, like piss and blood and all that kind of stuff, which is interesting. And if you, my last one of my last lives that wasn't taken down, and then one channel, I have a strike, so I don't know when I'll be able to post anything. I don't know. They're always going after me. Anyways, they never tell me what I'm doing. So, Skinrock Walker Ranch, there's a guy who's doing some research, and they were as far as radiation, and they figured out that they were under them. They were standing on the ground, right? And under them there was an entity that was emitting radiation, and then it would dissipate, and they would look for it, and then it would move, and they followed it as if it was something under the ground was happening, or some kind of entity, or something was emitting a radiation that wasn't normal. Have you guys had any similar kind of some kind of recollection, or you think that you might have experienced something similar to that, where something might be under you? I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's all weird. Just be honest, it's all weird. So you got to think outside the box.
The whole thing is weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Man, that's a good question. I mean, if you were to guess, if you were to let's just say that we know there's no other dimensions. Where are they? Are they to the right of us, below us, above us, on the left side of us?
Cutting through us? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they say when you dream of something, they're saying that's a premonition from the other dimension. That's what scientists say. I mean, but where's the dimension at? Is it below us, on the right side of us, above us, on the left? I mean, they're saying there's more than 5 dimensions. So where's the first one at? How close is the first one?
Well, I also, like, when you brought up the dream thing, they also say that have you ever been able to see your own hands when you're sleeping or when you're dreaming? Have you been able to see your own hands? They say that your hands are not actually your hands.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to hear something else crazy that I was learning? Let's just say, okay, we all know what this is, right?
Yes.
A remote, obviously. Now, can you say remote quietly without saying it?
Oh,
Did you hear it?
you can't. It's hard to say the raw part, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, just say that in your mind without saying it. Did you hear yourself saying it?
Yeah, I heard myself struggling to say the raw part. I don't know if you guys noticed that. For me, it's like
Did you hear yourself saying it? The remote. You said
inside
remote.
me, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
visually.
inside you. Without you said it without saying it, but heard yourself say it.
Sure.
Okay, you heard
Yeah.
yourself say remote,
Remote.
right?
Yeah.
But you didn't speak it, but you still heard it. So they're saying, is that a different dimension? What power is that? How did that happen? How do you hear other people's voices when you think about it? You're hearing their voice. You know what I'm saying? Weird. It's just weird. Look into it.
This whole place is weird. The more and more
Yeah.
I study stuff, the more and more it's just more speculation, guesswork, assumptions. The ambiguity of the whole situation is maddening. At some point, I can see why people just go for the experience, because it's at some point you're just like, I mean, it might be good to sell books and all that, but if you're getting honest, and I think integrity and honesty is a big part in all this.
Mm-hmm.
I think I hate to say, sorry for my language, folks, but the bigger the BS artist you are, the less likely you're going to have any kind of experiences. And the more, I think, you just throw in the towel, or not throw in the towel, but throw up your hands and go, oh, well, what's going to happen today? I have no clue. Don't ask me. You know what I mean? I think it allows some cool things to happen when you're just kind of as they say, go with the flow.
Right.
Yeah, if you're open, I think if you're open to it, you want to see it, you'll see it. They always say, if you go searching for something, you'll find it. If you go searching for something strange out in the forest at night, you're going to find it. You're going to find it.
So this is like an interesting case study, or at least for when it comes to trapper. Okay, sorry to keep focusing on you, bro.
Thank you, Nancy.
Here's a guy that spends a lifetime following tracks, but does not spend his time actually specifically going after Sasquatch or Bigfoot, for instance. But when you do specifically, is there a change? How I say this? Is there a higher probability when you're specifically looking for the Sasquatch, Bigfoot footprints, or Grassman footprints, that you're going to see it? Do you think that there might be something to that? What Jack is saying, I think what he's hinting at is the power of intent. When we focus on something that might, in some strange way, we might be a lot more, people say, powerful. I don't know if that's the case or not, but somehow when we focus on something, we have a higher probability that something's going to happen.
Yeah, because when I go out with Jack
Absolutely.
and everybody, my mind is all about that. When I'm out there tracking or I'm out there trapping or something, I'm not really. I'm worried about doing my job and doing it well. But I mean, I can't say when I'm out there trapping or tracking, I'm not hearing things out there. I do, but I try to ignore it because I have a job to do.
In the Google Home app.
So I guess I'm at that point where I can turn it off and on when I want. So when I go out with Jack, I know what I'm doing and what I'm going to do. So I'm going to concentrate on that. I don't have to worry about setting traps. So I don't have to worry about, I mean, I am tracking with Jack, but I mean, I can debunk some stuff when we're out there, and I have. Then there's some stuff I just can't explain when I'm tracking for Jack.
Well, I just think you guys, especially the crew, has this interesting dynamic going on, and I hope that there's a continuous conversation between you guys. I imagine it is.
Mhm.
Sorry, but of paying attention to Trapper, because he's doing two different things in the same location, if it makes sense. You know what I mean? Whereas you guys are more specifically, Jack, you and Mike, and the other, you're specifically going out for the encounter, the experience. You know what I mean? He's going out there to make a living, and he's able to compartmentalize the two things. And I just find that fascinating, because there's not too many of us in the world these days that have that opportunity. Because we're not, let's be honest, we're not making a living being a trapper, right? We're out in the woods. So I just find that fascinating. I hope it's something that, or at least you, Trapper, you're documenting it, because I think if the bare minimum, a little book to be written there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. But by saying that remote, so it clears us up, they think that first dimension, when you hear that, you hear yourself saying it, or you hear those voices of someone else talking, they believe the first dimension is within you. And when you're out there and you're projecting, other things can pick that up. Makes sense? I don't know. That's giving up, your good intent, like they say.
To be able to read our thoughts. Something to be able to read our thoughts.
Yep.
I mean, they say the same thing about when you're dreaming, if you see your reflection, it's not your face. Your reflection is not your own face. So it makes you feel like, are you in your actually own body when you're dreaming? Is it your own body that you're dreaming, or are you in someone else's body in another dimension? Because it's like I said, they say that you're not able to see your own hands, and you're not able to see your own reflection.
Yeah.
And this is different than, say, having an out-of-body experience deliberately, like astral projecting, right? I feel like Bob Monroe talks about his research and experiences deliberately. He claims, he's documented, and that's the Monroe Institute, that he could deliberately have an out-of-body experience, have his spirit come out of the physical avatar that we're in, right? And
projecting.
Right, and he could see his hands, and he would be able to see his hand going through a wall. That's his claim, and other people say the same thing. I've never had that kind of experience.
I've never had either.
No,
I feel like if you do, it's like a once in a lifetime.
I'm afraid that if I were to have that, I might have a heart attack and never come back.
Same here. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that I know from that I could really get the idea of seeing that is, from the movie the Avengers of Endgame, where the Ancient One knocks out Bruce Banner out of the Hulk, and he's just in his normal human form. He's no longer the Hulk. He's just Astro spirit body outside of the Hulk. But he's able to see the Hulk. He's able to talk. He's able to do everything that you can do. He's just not the Hulk. The other is, I don't know if any of you saw the movie Insidious, where basically their son Dalton is able to dream and project himself and walk around in his dreams. But the main point of the movie is that he went so far deep into his dreams, they turned into like nightmares, and he ended up getting stuck there, and like something took him, and he couldn't come back. He was like lost.
Yeah, I've seen that. That was a good movie.
So he could not wake up, and they found out that his dad was able to do the same thing, but they hypnotized the dad, so he doesn't remember he's able to do that.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
It was a great movie until they started making more of it, and then they ruined it.
Of course, as always they do, right? So sequels are just nightmares for the most part. But I've heard numerous stories of people, or at least they claim that they had those experiences. And that's one of the problems. What we're dealing with too is like my experiences are really much tailor-made to me, and I can't guarantee anyone that what I'm doing they'll have the same experience. The odds are that you're going to have something. You're going to have your own experience, something that's specifically tailored to you, and
well, good sense of that is filming that white thing sitting down on the tree or whatever it was. The guys had the problems with the cameras, and they're both trying to get their cameras going, and I go up and I film it just feet away from them. Now, I believe that was maybe my eyes only. I even say that during the video. I'm like, man, maybe this was for my eyes only. I don't know. I think experiences are like that. I mean, we've been out in the woods. Trapper has his encounters, and I'm standing just feet away from him going, what about me?
I know.
I'll have my encounters. Mike will have his, Moose will have his, T-Mac will have his, and we'll be standing there like, really?
Right.
I think it's, sometimes it's individual. Now, sometimes we've had crazy encounters.
All of us together.
We all hit the floor,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've definitely have had some weird ones. I mean, you're looking at one right now behind me. That's seriously. Somebody say it's a Bigfoot, and I don't know. All I know, it was there in the shadows and the edge of the woods, and something drawing me to it. So it was looking back at me. So what the hell? So the problem is all this stuff is. It's like I keep saying this is like, how do we know the Bigfoot made the tree structures? How do we know it was a Bigfoot that actually made the footprints? How do we know it's something that just has a Bigfoot? What I mean when I say Bigfoot or Sasquatch, the traditional one that we've been indoctrinated into believing in, right? The one that we've seen 1,000 images, man-made images, and artist renderings, and everyone says this is what a Bigfoot looks like, but then you hear all there's 7 types, and then the more you study it, you realize there's probably 7 times 70 types times 700 types. In other words, nothing quite looks the same. I mean, whether it's facially or body structure or the size of the feet or whatever, and how much of it are we just projecting or making, our confirmation biases? And when we say, like you guys were talking about the little feet, how do we know those are smaller Bigfoot? How do we know it was a Bigfoot at all? Maybe it was something completely different. It just came from one dimension to the other, or to our dimension for a short period of time, and it could be something completely different.
And you're right, and that's why I don't cast them, because I can't. I feel bad, and the Trapper knows this. Trapper says the same thing. We all agree. If we cast something, put it in stone, we're saying we 100% believe this was a Bigfoot print without seeing what made it. I can't do that. I am not that person.
You don't want to do what the Milgrams do? Come on.
Man, more power to them.
Well, I think it's really important to be honest about it.
Right.
That's the honest conclusion. That's the honest conclusion that anybody can make, right? It's just
right.
Until you actually at least see the Sasquatch, the grass man, whatever it may be, the dog make those footprints, you can't 100% say. I mean, it's the one thing I think you start to distinguish that a flesh and blood human being probably didn't make it, or did make it. And
you could assume that some of these. I mean, you're going to say, man. I mean, who was out there? Shaquille O'Neal, barefooted. I mean,
the odds are, though, right? That's slim to none.
Throw those odds out there, and then you're like, oh man, But still, that's still assuming. So you can't. I don't want to be that one to assume.
Well, if you did the scale from 1 to 10, and you're in an area, I'm sure you guys are doing this, and everybody else just think about this. A scale from 1 to 10, 1 being, say, something that's not a human, or vice versa, and that 10 being that it is a human that made those, like a human being, a fellow human being made it. I think if you use that, especially a lot of locations, you just go like, the odds that a human being was out here in the middle of this particular patch of the woods or in the forest, barefoot, this time of the year, is extremely low.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, there are crazy people out there, and maybe there was a madman running around, but that madman is still a madman, and he's going to have limitations. And Trapper will know this, you will know that. And that is that the trail's going to keep going. They're still going to be leaving signs because we're human beings, and we just kind of, we're not Superman. We can't fly. We can't fly, right? We can't disappear. So,
Right.
So
yeah, the footprints going to that tree. It was a little sapling. It was just a little above my head. In the wintertime, those prints disappeared.
You're talking to a guy that's seen stuff come out of a tree, so I'll swear to my.
Hey man,
that's bad.
I filmed a face in the tree with the thermal.
Right.
I went to touch it and it backed away. It was all like, "Oh, you ain't touching me."
Well, I appreciate the invite. I do have to help my daughter. She woke up. So I appreciate the invite, Jack.
Mr. Wonderful, thank you. Sir, you
Yes,
got to get this way. You can stay here if you need to.
Yes. We will definitely, I will get in contact with them and contact you of when we're going to finally not be big babies and come out with you guys.
Okay,
I keep on telling them no more excuses. I don't want to hear that you got to change your sheets.
We'll bring the man diapers so you can all put on the man diapers before the hunt.
Mr. Wonderful, go Bucks. No, sorry. Are you a Michigan fan?
No, I am not. Not even close.
Not
even a state fan either. Not Ohio State fan either.
Who do you
root for the Rice Owls.
Rice University?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's tears. Absolutely.
Yes, I root for Rice.
Did you go there?
No, my I found out that my grandpa went there, and he was telling me all the stories, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna be a fan like he is, and it just stuck with me.
There you go, man.
There.
But,
love you, brother.
Yes.
Got to get this way soon. You can come when the snow flies. We do this all year round. The Trapper has a nice electric warm jacket, so he don't care if he's standing out there. He don't care if you're cold. And
I'm gonna tell you this: if you bring an electric heated jacket, you're probably gonna make one of them not even want to leave anywhere. He's just gonna sit there and be cozy and be like, "I'll spectate."
Trapper has snow built up on his shoulders, and he don't care. He's like, "I'm warm, man. You look cold. You want to stick your hands in my pocket, warm your hands up or something? Take your time, heat up. I'm good. I'll just turn the heat up in the jacket."
Exactly. But definitely, I'll get a hold of you. We were actually trying to think if we could try to set something up for like our side, like a little I don't know what the correct term is, but like a little special event. All of us come out and do like a Halloween spooky kind of vibe.
It'd be very interesting to have the crew from Ohio go up to Michigan and see how that would turn out.
Mm-hmm.
The asylum. We could do the asylum. We could go to Nunica Cemetery. That place is very active. It's in the top 10 of most haunted places.
I'm not really into the haunted places, though, either is Trapper.
Mm-hmm.
I know what, man. I'm telling you, Mr. Wonderful, I know what's out there, and I know what can attach itself to you.
Exactly.
I'm good. I'm out in the woods.
We're good with going to what you guys are doing. We are perfectly fine with going out and doing that also.
You'll see some spooky stuff out there that you won't be able to explain.
Oh, you will.
Oh,
well, I just wonder if you guys could draw in, because you're foreigners, but you're aware. This makes sense because you. So, what? Because the Bigfoot that's up in Michigan kind of looks different than down here for some reason or another, from my observation, from what other people have said and what I've filmed. It looks a little different than Ohio Grassman, and it doesn't look. And then also you got the Dog Man thing allegedly going on there. So, and then this, all the other stuff. It'd be interesting to see. Have you guys go up there for a night
Tears.
and, in the woods there and see what you guys could draw out? That'd be fascinating.
I love it, man.
Yeah,
That's
Now, I don't know that much about the dog man. I mean, I know of it, but I have not heard anybody that have seen it or seen him or anything like that. I know the story, but I've never heard anyone say that they've seen or possibly heard him.
Thank
Okay.
you, Kurt.
But I know it is a big story.
For Michigan, for sure. For Michigan, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get my kid to bed. It was nice meeting you guys, Jack.
Nice meeting
Thank
you.
you for inviting me.
No
Definitely
problem,
trying to
brother.
get these scaredy cats to come out and come see you, and we'll all go on a hunt.
There you
No,
go.
I have to bring the
Let me-
man diapers out with us just in case.
For sure. A couple of bottles. Probably a stroller while we're at it. But you guys have a good night.
All right, brother. You
Let
too.
me
Have a
know-
great
let me know
weekend,
for
man.
the next one, and I'll come in.
All right.
All right.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
You too.
Right.
Have a good one, brother. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Should have asked them about how the Buffalo Bills are doing. That's what I should have asked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
All right,
have to
guys.
get
Oh.
out of here too.
Yeah, I'm going to
Ordy.
actually close it up.
It was a pleasure, ORD. I really think.
Yeah, gentlemen, thank you for inviting me and spending your Friday evening with me. So,
Yeah, hold on, Trapper, because I'm going to shut her down and close her up.
Okay.
And hope everybody has a great weekend. And thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us. If we didn't get to your questions, please put them in the comments below, and we'll answer them. Mike, thank you for, man, you put out some good questions for us. I
He
really
does.
do appreciate it.
I love his questions. I do.
anytime, gentlemen. You know, I
Right
got
off
plenty
the
of.
top of
You know, I got plenty of them. So, after all these years, I got plenty of questions.
and I'm telling you, you got to be make
Very,
sure you're around
very
for,
little answers. So, very few
you gotta
answers.
make sure you're around for my last show, man, because I'm gonna let it all fly.
So, when are you guys going up before you bail out on us? When you guys going out to the field decks? What's coming up for you guys?
Tomorrow. Man, I am sitting on so many videos. It's this week I wanted to release a bunch of videos, but Claim 3 kind of took over, so I was there all week long.
Are you guys going to be going live or?
I sure hope so. I'm going to try. I can't really guarantee you it's going to be a great place tomorrow. I'm not going to say where because we don't want nobody to
Is
show up.
Trapper going with you? Are you going with the Trapper?
I would not be able to go tomorrow, but I am planning on meeting up. I did talk to Jack on the phone a little bit ago, earlier this afternoon. I will be meeting up with Jack either Tuesday or Wednesday of this coming week, and we're gonna head out and get out there.
So you're both going to go live and in channels then separately, or
Maybe.
just
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. I would like to put a live out on Tuesday or Wednesday. I would like to try, depending where we go. So,
all right, man.
Yep. Yeah.
Good luck. I hope you guys find an answer or two to our many questions,
Yeah.
or at
Oh,
least
yeah.
have a very interesting experience.
I can tell you all, there's a lot of great videos coming, and we're going to get some lives in there. But man, I'm telling you, Claim 3, sorry, took up a lot of time, but that's a claim. You know, those are people that are asking for our help. So did all we could do, and they're very satisfied, and you all get to see that footage.
Yeah, where is MT today? What happened to him?
MT is feeling a little sick today.
Huh.
So
not
send
good.
prayers his way. And he'll be out with us tomorrow, but he's trying to super recover today. So pray that he's better for tomorrow. Stump Jumper, hello. And again, please, if you have any questions, leave them down below. We'll get them answered.
Mhm.
ORD, I want to thank you. Trapper, I want to thank you. And thank you to all the other guys that came on tonight. And thank you for the amazing questions. And I hope that we answered them as best we could. And stick around. We got some good stuff coming up. With that said, I'm Jack the cameraman.
I'm Trapper.
Already.
ORD. You all have a great weekend.
Take care of it.
Bye.